Why, hi there. My name is Farmer Bob, and I'm here to talk to you about local foods. How does a trip across the world every day sound to you? Impossible? Or maybe not so environmentally friendly? And if you do so every day, you're really not helping your local economy. It doesn't bode well for your health either, sitting down all the time. Sounds pretty illogical, right? But many of us do it every day. You may not know it, but the food you get from the grocery store travels thousands of kilometers to get to your home. And you know what they say, you are what you eat. Many of us go to the grocery store because it's convenient, or for the selection, and maybe for the price. But what if this didn't matter though? What if eating locally was easy and better for everyone? Let's look at it through a deliciously common meal. Even here, you can probably notice an instant difference visually, but what's important is what you can't see, and instead what the producer of this can see. When you buy food from the grocery store, only 30% of what you pay gets put back into your local economy. The rest goes to other countries' shipping, packaging, and advertising experts. If you choose local food, the farmer's getting full dollar for his product, because there's no middleman shipping, packaging, or advertising the product. Do you really need more advertisements? More garbage from packaging? More money leaving your neighborhood? But there's another great part from buying this bun locally, besides the good it does for your economy. You get to become a part of a community. There's no more going through the motions, walking around the store like a zombie. You get to meet people and interact with to create a social network. You can get to know the farmer who made the wheat and the baker who made the bread. They can even introduce you to all new kinds of products you may have never tried before, all just from eating local. But an important question is, where do we buy local foods when the weather outside can't support the growth of vegetables and fruits and grains essential to our regular diets? The use of greenhouses allows some local foods to be available longer than usual. And remember, many vegetables can be frozen when they are in season and defrosted when needed in the off-season. Let's consider this piece of lettuce in its local burger. It's grown at a nearby farm where seasonality for assorted lettuces between June and October. Does that mean you can't have local lettuce all year round? Of course no. Local greenhouses provide lettuce for the whole year. So you can enjoy that special piece of lettuce that makes a burger even more enjoyable year round. Some other foods available all year round are meat products, eggs, honey, wine, baked goods, maple syrup, and preserves. If you're not being conscious about your local food, then your tomatoes are having to travel very far, particularly during the winter season. These tomatoes can be coming from Mexican hydroponic plantations, Floridan fields, and even possibly Canadian hothouses. In general, if you're going to go looking for tomatoes, you'll find the Canadian markets are swamped with tomatoes from these regions. So is it worthwhile looking for that local tomato? The answer is yes. Because some of the tomatoes come from far and wide, they have more additives. For example, in Florida, farmers use 5 times more fungicide than in California to accommodate for the environment. The farther the food has to travel, the more preservatives they have to add to maintain longer shelf life. Preservatives serve as antimicrobials and antioxidants. For example, sulfites are used generally to prevent discoloration of light-colored tomatoes and sustain a longer shelf life. The addition of these preservatives and additives also reduces some of the natural flavor in the food. Hence, generally tomatoes from Leamington, a local farm area, will taste better than those from Mexico or the US in the grocery store. Another important advantage of eating local is its tendency to favor natural, minimally processed foods. Processed is code for junk foods, foods of minimal nutritional value. These crowd the center aisles of supermarkets, add loads of unneeded calories, rely on added nutrients for health benefits, last forever on the shelves, and generate enormous profits for their makers. The food industry has created many of these processed products to be so convenient and palatable that they are habit-forming, and thus are a leading cause for obesity and its associated complications, including heart disease and diabetes. In addition, uncontrolled marketing practices have turned societies into conditioned overeaters, unable to recognize hunger. Processed varieties are often made with refined oils and containing more than 5 ingredients. They also contain high amounts of processed sugar and preservatives, and the food starches can be made from corn, gums, or agar. Minimally processed mayo, though slightly higher in fat than mayo-like dressings, contains no preservatives and is made with hearty ingredients, like eggs, vinegar, and olive oil that can be found within a local context and used to create your own real homemade mayo. Any other burger you get probably uses processed cheddar, which is mainly used for its long shelf life. If you make your own burger, you can pick whatever cheese you want, like a more flavorful aged cheddar from your farmer's market. Many people complain that local food is too expensive. Okay, the aged cheddar is more expensive than processed cheddar, but that processed stuff is just that, processed and bland. So what if we compare directly? Well, this 5-year aged cheddar is $2.69 per 100 grams. This one doesn't tell you how old it is, just age, but it's $2.79 for the same amount. And guess which one was local? That's right, you save money by buying local, and you know how old it is, not just aged. And this doesn't just work for cheese. Many other products are similarly priced. Tomatoes, squash, potatoes, onions, they're all the same price as the supermarket. Eggs are the same price too, but the farmer's market sells free-range organic eggs for $3.50. At the grocery store, you would pay $4.59 for the same batch. Now onto the most important part of the burger, the meat. This particular burger is using beef. You can find beef almost anywhere at any restaurant, but where does it actually come from? It's not very often that you see some cattle walking around. The largest importer of beef is the United States, with almost 12,000 metric tons of beef produced in 2009. When buying non-local beef, there are many steps that are taken from the time a cattle is born to finding a beef on grocery store shelves, such as the auction market, stocker, feedlot, slaughter, packaging, and distribution. The distance traveled when going through all these processes can be up to 7,000 miles. This would greatly increase carbon dioxide emissions and therefore increase a person's ecological footprint. When buying locally, however, the need for costly transportation, packaging, and refrigeration is decreased. So we just went through all the factors of local foods by going through each ingredient of a delicious burger. Why not support your local farmers, like me? Maybe you care about our economy or having the best tasting foods. Maybe you want a better, healthier life, or you're on a budget. Maybe you want to help the environment. You can do all these things together, and it's not hard. Just go down to your local farmer's market or to the neighborhood farmer and ask. Help yourself, help your neighbors, help the world. Eat local.